Over 85% of Americans shopped at Walmart last year. That's nearly the entire country walking through those automatic doors, believing they were saving money. But something strange is happening in 2025, and hardly anyone is talking about it. Shoppers aren't just cutting back. They're walking away. Quietly, permanently. Walmart, once seen as the ultimate destination for low prices and convenience, is slowly becoming the exact opposite of what it promised to be. Prices are creeping up. Shelves are a mess, and the experience? It's becoming downright exhausting. Sound familiar? You head in for milk, bread, maybe a pack of diapers, and somehow your receipt feels like you just paid rent. You look at your half-filled cart and whisper to yourself, "How did this cost so much?" That's not just inflation. That's betrayal. A silent, creeping kind that shoppers are finally starting to notice. And what's fueling this shift goes far deeper than you think. In fact, the real reasons are frustrating, infuriating, and in some cases, downright insulting. And reason number one? It might just change the way you see Walmart forever. Let's start with reason 7, because yes, it's that bad. Self-checkout. It was supposed to be a game changer. Faster, easier, more convenient. But here we are in 2025, and let's be honest, it feels like we've become unpaid employees. No hello, no help, no paycheck. Just a cold machine chirping, unexpected item in the bagging area, like a broken record. A mom in Kentucky went viral after filming herself trying to juggle a screaming toddler, scan groceries, and catch apples rolling across the floor, while not a single Walmart employee came to help. It didn't shock people. It hit home, because that's what so many of us go through every single week. And under all the sarcastic jokes online, do I get an employee discount if I do all the work? There's a real raw emotion, exhaustion. Shopping shouldn't feel like a second job, especially for families already stretched thin. You go in hoping to save money, not to play cashier, bagger, and tech support all at once, while still paying full price. And here's the part no one says out loud. The frustration doesn't hit all at once. It builds. One frozen item that won't scan. One error that sets off a flashing red light. One endless wait while your ice cream melts. It's not just annoying, it's insulting, because when a billion-dollar company pushes the work onto you but still charges the same price, that's not innovation. That's cost-cutting wrapped in convenience. And people, they're waking up fast. But trust me, what comes next is even worse. Let's talk about something we don't usually think about until it's too late. The food you're bringing home. Because what's happening with refrigerated products at Walmart in 2025? It's disturbing, and it's driving people away in silence. Reason 6, refrigerated products no one trusts anymore. You know the feeling. You open a fresh gallon of milk, expecting that cold, clean smell. And instead, it hits you like a sour slap. It smells off. And that's when you realize, this isn't just a fluke. It's happening too often to too many people. Customers across the country are finding spoiled dairy, discolored meat, and wilted produce, days before the expiration date even hits. One woman in Michigan didn't even bother complaining after tossing out her second full gallon of bad milk in a single month. She just said, "That's it for me." And quietly, she walked away, just like thousands of others. You've got chicken that looks gray under the plastic. Cheese that sweats in your fridge before you've even had time to put the rest of your groceries away. Yogurt that turns sour while the seal is still unbroken. And the scariest part? No one's being warned. No recalls, no notices. Just bad food making its way into homes. This isn't just about waste. It's about trust. Because when the food you feed your family starts to feel like a gamble, no price is worth it. That dollar you saved on milk, it's meaningless if it ends up down the drain. Or worse, in your child's cereal bowl. That's why more and more shoppers are leaving Walmart's refrigerated aisles behind, turning to places like Aldi, Kroger, or smaller local stores where quality still comes first. And once that seed of doubt is planted, it doesn't stop with milk or meat. It starts to grow. It follows you through the store. You start questioning everything. And right when you think it can't get worse, you turn a corner and find something even more frustrating. Reason 5. Rollbacks that don't really roll back. There was a time when that big yellow rollback tag meant something. You'd see it and feel that little thrill. Yes, I scored a deal. But in 2025, that sticker doesn't bring relief. It brings suspicion. Because behind those cheerful discounts, a sneaky game is being played. Here's what's really happening. Prices are being raised quietly over time, and then brought back down to the original price with a flashy rollback tag slapped on like a trophy. In some cases, the new discounted price is actually higher than what it was weeks ago. And shoppers? They're catching on fast. They're keeping receipts, sharing screenshots, posting side-by-side comparisons online. And the truth is clear. It's not a deal. It's a trick. A clever illusion designed to make you feel like you're winning when really you're being misled. And that hurts. Not just your wallet, but your sense of trust. Because when a store that built its entire identity on being the low-price leader starts playing games with numbers, it doesn't feel like business. It feels like betrayal. For families trying to stretch every dollar, walking into Walmart used to be a lifeline. Now, it feels like a gamble. And here's the thing. Most shoppers won't argue. They won't make a scene. They'll smile at the cashier, walk out quietly, and never come back. Loyalty doesn't shatter loudly. It slips away, one disappointment at a time. And in the next chapter, it gets even more personal. Because the one thing that used to set Walmart apart, the human touch, is disappearing too. Reason 4. Customer service is basically dead. Do you remember when shopping at Walmart actually felt human? A friendly face at the door, someone smiling as they scanned your items, maybe even a kind voice pointing you toward the right aisle. That little spark of warmth made all the difference. But in 2025, that spark is gone. What's left feels cold, literally and emotionally. Harsh lighting, closed checkout lanes, empty aisles. And the few employees still roaming the floor, they look just as tired, just as defeated as the shoppers walking past them. This isn't just about fewer staff. It's about what their silence says. Overworked, undertrained, checked out. One shopper said after their visit, "I felt completely alone, even though the store was full of people." And that hits deep, because shopping shouldn't feel isolating. It should feel human, familiar, safe. But the more Walmart leans into automation, the more distant and mechanical everything feels. Sure, machines might save time, but they don't smile at you. They don't help you find cold medicine when your kid's running a fever. They don't look you in the eye and make you feel like you matter. And for millions of families, especially older shoppers, that tiny thread of human connection is worth more than any rollback sticker ever could be. But here's where it gets even more painful. When even the employees stop caring, that silence sends a loud message. You don't need a sign to know it. It's written in the slouched shoulders, the blank stares, the unspoken exhaustion. If the people who work there don't care about the shopping experience, why should you? Most customers won't yell or complain. They'll just quietly stop showing up. They'll start spending their hard-earned money somewhere that still feels human. And just when you think it couldn't get more frustrating, it does. Reason 3. Empty shelves. Week after week, shoppers walk into Walmart for the basics: milk, eggs, toilet paper, the everyday essentials. But what do they find? Aisles stripped bare, shelves scattered with cardboard placeholders and empty hooks. The same story every time, nothing in stock. This isn't a one-time blip or a storm delay, it's a pattern. And it's draining people, because when you show up with a grocery list and leave with barely 2 items, it's not just annoying, it's defeating. One shopper put it perfectly. "I spent 40 minutes and got 2 things. I could have just stayed home." And they're not wrong. Gas isn't cheap. Time isn't free. And when families build their weekly meals around what Walmart should have and leave with disappointment instead, it's more than inconvenient. It feels like a slap in the face. Walmart used to be the answer. Now, it feels like a gamble. And no one wants to gamble with dinner. That quiet frustration is turning into quiet rebellion. Customers aren't making a scene, they're simply walking out and not coming back. They're heading to local grocers, farmers markets, even regional stores. Maybe those places don't offer flashy rollback signs or endless aisles, but they offer something Walmart no longer can: reliability. And here's the most alarming part. The shortages aren't just affecting name brands anymore. The problem has started creeping into Walmart's very own products, the ones that were supposed to be the store's most dependable line. Reason 2, even great value isn't great anymore. There was a time, not long ago, when Walmart's great value brand was exactly what the name promised. It was the Smart Pick, the hidden gem that helped families feed 5 people on a shoestring budget. It wasn't fancy, but it was reliable. You could trust that what you were putting on the table wouldn't just fill the plate. It would stretch your dollar without cutting corners. But in 2025, that trust is cracking, quietly, frustratingly, and for many shoppers, heartbreakingly. It starts small. A box that feels lighter, a texture that feels off, labels that change without warning. And then, the moment of truth, when you open a can of green beans and it looks like something dredged out of a swamp, not pulled from a grocery shelf. That's not just a turnoff, it's a wake-up call. Because this isn't about picky eaters or premium tastes. It's about survival. It's about families counting on this food to get them through the week. And now, they're tossing it in the trash. One mom said, "I used to swear by great value. Now I avoid it completely. I can't afford to waste money on food my kids won't eat." And she's not alone. More and more shoppers are saying the same thing, out loud and online. The store brand that once felt like a safety net is starting to feel like a trap. And here's the real damage. When the budget option stops being worth it, what's left? Not much. That's why families are jumping ship. They're walking past the once trusted blue and white packaging and heading to Aldi, Costco, even local stores with generics that still taste like food. Because at the end of the day, this isn't about spending less. It's about not being tricked, not being disappointed, not being taken for granted. And if great value is crumbling, it leads us to the biggest betrayal of all. Reason 1, Walmart isn't the cheapest anymore. This is the one shaking everything. For years, decades even, Walmart didn't just sell cheap. It was cheap. It was the place people counted on when times were hard, when rent was due and the fridge was empty. It was where you went when you had $10 and needed to make it work. But in 2025, that foundation is cracking, and fast. Side-by-side comparisons now show Aldi beating Walmart on over 70% of basic grocery items. That's not a rumor. That's reality. The so-called low price leader is slipping, and customers are noticing. They're comparing receipts, scanning barcodes, sharing the truth on social media. And it's not looking good for Walmart. That once powerful slogan, "Save money, live better," starts to feel like a cruel joke when your total at checkout makes your stomach turn. And what's even more painful, it's not just about cost anymore. It's about the entire experience. Because when another store charges less and treats you better, why stay loyal to the one that doesn't? Even the diehards, the people who knew every rollback, every secret clearance rack, are finally walking away. They're buying in bulk at Costco. They're shopping small. They're visiting farm stands, butchers, and corner markets where the shelves are stocked and the prices make sense. Because there, what you see is what you get. No shrinkflation, no fake discounts, no games. And that's where Walmart's grip is finally slipping. Not in some loud, dramatic collapse, but in quiet exits. One shopper at a time, one cart at a time. People are making a choice, not because they want to leave, but because they've finally realized Walmart left them first. And here's the real wake-up call. When the most loyal shoppers, the budget warriors, the working moms, the families who've stretched every penny, start quietly walking away from Walmart, that's not just a red flag, that's a giant blinking neon sign flashing, "We're done." Because once people realize they can get better quality for less money somewhere else, the illusion is shattered. And when that illusion breaks, it's not just Walmart's prices that take a hit, it's Walmart's place in people's lives. In 2025, Walmart isn't the automatic go-to anymore. For many, it's becoming the last resort, the store you go to only when you've got no other choice. And that says everything. Because here's the truth. This isn't just about spending less anymore. It's about spending smarter. People are tired of being tricked by fake rollbacks, fed up with scanning their own groceries, and done with throwing away spoiled food. In a world where every dollar counts more than ever, shoppers are quietly fighting back the smartest way possible by making better choices. And now, I want to hear from you. What was the final straw for you? Was it the sour milk? The half-empty shelves? The fake discounts that fooled you one too many times? Or maybe it was that blinking self-checkout screen that made you feel like an unpaid employee? Whatever it was, drop your story in the comments below. I'm reading every single one. And trust me, you're not alone. If this video opened your eyes, do me a small favor that makes a big difference. Hit that like button, subscribe to Flash Economist, and tap the bell so you never miss a single tip that could save you money or spare you another shopping regret. Every week we break down what's really happening behind the shelves so you can stay ahead, shop smarter, and protect what matters most, your family's wallet and well-being.